Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic I want to discuss today is competition, opportunity, and advantage. I was talking to this Sambo one day, and he was telling me the reason why I do these videos, the reason why I want blacks to build their own businesses and industries is because I'm afraid to compete. I'm afraid to be a success in a white man's system, and I'm he telling me that no matter what hurdles white man put in front of him, he's gonna be determined to succeed. He ain't gonna let them stop him from being a success. And it's sad. You will break your neck trying to validate yourself in a system that's built on your oppression. But you won't lift a finger to try to build your own system and compete against that. See, that's true competition. White people have a system, black people have a system, and see who have the best system. To see if you had a choice, which one would you choose? If you competing, that means that whatever you have, your opponent have, and we get to compete and see who prepared the best. That's competition. When you follow the same rules and regulations as everybody else. If whites have 5 people on their team and blacks have 4 on theirs, you one player short. That's not a competition. That's an unfair. That's not competition. If you don't have everything that they have, then you can't compete. You're just not ready. When you look at opportunity, to me, opportunity is an equal chance to benefit in education, economics, politically, courts, laws. You have the equal chance to reap the benefits of these institutions. Can you honestly say black people have that? Have an equal chance to be beneficial in these environments? When you look at advantage, and see, this is what white people never discuss with you. They'll talk about competing, they'll talk about opportunities, but they will never ever discuss advantage. The advantage in competition and opportunity is ownership and control. Whites have and keep the advantage because our competition and opportunities is in their schools and their economy and their government and their courts. Everything we trying to benefit from, they already have ownership and control over these institutions. So when a black person go to a white school, the advantage goes to the white student because this is their institution. When a black person goes to a business or industry, the advantage goes to the white applicants because these are their businesses and industries. Don't ever think for a second that Ford Motor Company looking to hire, you may not even get the notice because he's going to try to find the position to be filled around his dinner table, around his sons and grandsons, nieces and nephews. Your black rump is somewhere in a whole other city. You won't even know that this job opportunity is available. Whites have, like I said, they have, and they're going to keep this advantage. They're never going to talk about you having your own and then competing. So you can forget about that. And as long as you try to compete when they got 5 players on their team and you got 4, your weakness is clear. I can see a gap in your defenses. I could see a spot where I could take advantage of because you don't have enough players, as I do. You don't have enough players to defend, or you have enough players on offense to attack. Any shortage that you have that they don't have, you're vulnerable. If whites and blacks got, well, the whites had 5 and blacks had 0, that's not a competition or opportunity. You know, that's a joke. And that's exactly what these so-called black leaders have resulted in. You keep trying to validate black people by going to their government, going to their businesses, their industries, their economics. Well, all they got to do is say yes or no, and that will allow or deny you whatever. They just negotiating with you just to kill some time. Because the minute you ask for more than they're willing to give, they'll sever negotiation. And there's not one black leader that's out here right now that's going to take your money and build your own businesses. You know, let me conclude this video with this. Whites will never compete with black people on equal terms. They'll never encourage you or suggest to you to build your own businesses and industries. Build your own governing body, oversee your own affairs. They only want to compete with you when all the advantage lies in their control. This is why I cannot support, talk or buy a book unless it's about blacks, even in the playing field. By building our own businesses and industries, I just cannot longer do this. I've tried it, spent money, and just to hear more and more talk. We already see the disadvantage blacks have in the world. We already see the results of us not having our own businesses and industries. When you look at the pandemic, when you look at hurricanes, when you look at any natural or man-made disaster, the first thing that's negatively impacted is your way of life. And when you have a multicultural country during a pandemic or during a natural disaster, going to the same businesses and industries for essential needs, the owner of these provisions are always going to be the one that's going to be catered to first. When you look at Negroes, there isn't a business or industry we don't support. There isn't a business or industry that we don't contribute to. And there's not one business or industry that we own or control. That is our disadvantage. We helping everybody else build, create generational wealth. And then as soon as a natural disaster or man-made disaster strike, we are the ones left flying in the wind. We don't have no direction, no guide. We don't got nowhere we can go to provide essential needs to our people. We got to get the scraps left from everybody else. This, like I said, this is why I cannot, and I like hearing a good conversation. I like hearing ideas, but I want to see some results. I can't just keep supporting talk if it doesn't bear no fruit. There was a webinar or whatever that took place over the weekend on Fly Nubian Queen, and I really wanted to listen to it, but all it is talk, pushing a book, supporting the people I don't need nobody else to tell black people how bad off we are. I can look at the news. I can look in the streets. I drive past the people every day. What I need to hear, what I need to see is somebody with a plan to build businesses and industries to uplift our people. So that when we go to compete, we got something to compete with. You know, here now you got food shortage. But instead of addressing that, you hear government keep talking about creating more vaccines. Well, you got a food shortage. People out here starving because the price of food is going up and up. And the government is not saying nothing about building no more farms. It only takes a few weeks for a chick to reach the size so you can sell it to the market. A few weeks for pigs. You know, we can this food shortage can be eliminated if you put half the effort into that you do into making vaccines, into creating farms. There wouldn't be no shortage. Then blacks can have their own farms. We already got 5,000 black farmers right now. We can come together as a people and use these farms and create our own market, our own chain of supermarkets to feed our own people. And I know you're saying, well, Jonathan, 4,000, 5,000 farmers are enough to feed. Right, exactly, you're exactly right. So that creates a demand for us to have more black farmers to feed the rest of our people. You see all the Negroes that's over here in Africa? What do we reached out to them? All that land, they can grow food year round. When you look at all the other businesses and industries that we could start off and then force this new venture to grow to accommodate the rest of us, that's how you compete. You telling me that these white devils can create their own economics and we can't create our own money, our own value system, how to determine it, how to obtain it, how to distribute it. We can't do that for ourselves. You know, like I say, the reason why there's a food shortage is because the government pays people not to grow food. The government pays dairy farmers not to produce milk, to regulate the cost, to keep the cost high. If they allowed all the dairy farmers to produce, that would drive the market down. But see, the government shouldn't care about that. Just supply the people. This system here is not going to do anything because they're so concerned about what's in your pocket. If you just help where you can help and don't worry about nothing else, this country would be a lot better off. But the only way it's going to get to that point is if their livelihood is at stake. And as long as they have no competition in this country, they can do what, when, and however they want to. So if you really want to make this country a better place, if you really want this country to be what it claimed to be, it needs an economic competitor on all facets. Whatever they got on their side, we need to have on our side. Because if you go in here with anything less than that, you are at a distinct advantage. All they got to do is just look and see you ain't got enough people to cover this specific area, and they'll attack it. And they're going to keep attacking it. That's why if we're going to compete in this country, well, let's compete. But let's compete with businesses and industries and not just hope and faith. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, please share it. And if you like this content, consider subscribing to this channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.